So first, what kind of person are you, public or private? And by the way, I'm just posing things that, quite frankly, might change dramatically for you 10 years into your entrepreneurial career. You might decide that at the beginning of your career, you want to be very, very public, and you don't mind being a public persona, and et cetera, and you might decide halfway through your career that you don't like it, and that's okay, right? We all make changes and deviations. But one thing about being in a public company as a senior executive or a founder, and gosh, turn on CNBC this morning or yesterday, I think it was, and you're finding out exactly how much stock one of the founders of Google sold, and they probably were telling you what he was doing with it. And I mean, it's just unbelievable the amount of your personal life that's exposed on websites and chat boards and in reports and articles when you're not just the CEO, but any kind of founder, executive of a public company. And a lot of people don't like that when they get there. I can tell you there's aspects of it that really are not fun that I've experienced. The one I'll share with you is that my husband's absolutely forbade me to go onto chat boards and read what people write, because of course it can be very vicious, personal attacks, all that. So I suppose it's like if you're, Larry Ellison or someone like that, you don't read everything that's printed about you, or if you do, you read it with a big sense of humor. So that's kind of one thing. People do know everything about you. Your stock, your salary, everything is public information. So your life's kind of fair game, and that does have an impact on your family, I think, as well. Other people telling you what to do. Obviously, if it's your own company during that nice private phase, it's your own show. And when it's shareholders and a board, and I would emphasize shareholders, your life really changes. And there's some good things about that, but there's some challenges, and I'll talk more about that. Now, what about your staff? This is an important one because I believe many of you Stanford graduates, engineers, will have great ideas and companies to found. And you'll probably bring along some of your buddies and your friends because that's what happens. That isn't a formula that always works forever. You may mature into helping a company grow and flourish and go public. Maybe your best friend won't. You may be in a position where you have to fire that person. These are the kinds of things, or just wake up and realize you got to part ways. These are difficult things that happen to people as entrepreneurs because the same kind of people that help you start something and grow it from 0 to 20 million aren't necessarily the same ones from 20 to a billion or 100 million or a billion. And sometimes those aren't the same people from a billion on. So I think that's a really important one. Again, I was struck by this comment today when I saw the news. When I woke up this morning and was on my, had CNBC on in the background. I saw the news about Carly leaving HP, and I thought, talk about public exposure, and talk about, every time she turns around in the next month, she's going to be picking up every magazine in a rack. And whether you agree that she was doing a good job or not, I'm not here to debate, but boy, is she going to be raked over the coals publicly. And that's got to be tough. You got to at least feel a little bit for somebody who's got to have everything about their performance aired out in public globally on the world stage. That's tough. So thick skin is what you need to have. Another little funny joke I found on this website, and our stock just went up 10 points on the rumor that I was replacing you all with burlap sacks stuffed with straw. There are great pressures on public company executives for cost cutting and for shareholder value, and I'm going to talk more about it in a moment, but I think that does change the dynamic, and thinking about how you balance the trade-off of doing your job, which is first and foremost creating shareholder value. That's what a CEO is supposed to do. It doesn't say be the best boss ever to your employees. It doesn't say run the best culture company. It doesn't say be the nicest to people. It doesn't say a lot of things. Now, a lot of those things are important to creating shareholder value, but they're not the single reason the board gives you the job. They give you the job because they think you're the right person at that time to help the company through its challenges and opportunities and create the most value out of the asset that's there.